Okay, so we're playing the Timber stage of the party game. In the Timber stage, which is basically the intermediate level, we still have habitats that are the central part of the game board, the trees, but it introduces the two different types of weather cards, the cloud cards and the trend cards, as well as the disasters. So just like in the seedling stage, just put the habitat card in, and we start with a habitat, and then we will shuffle all of these cards together and put them in a single draw pile. So all the trees and all the weather cards and disaster cards are all mixed together. Okay, so we have shuffled all of the cards together. As you can see, there's a mixture of blue cards and yellow cards, and we will distribute 3 to each player to start. There we go. So at least we each got a tree card. If somebody doesn't get a tree card, certainly feel like you can reshuffle and redistribute if you want to. All right, so here we go. We'll let you go first.
Okay, I'm going to...
I will allow you to go first.
I do appreciate that.
Where are we? We're in the southern hardwood forest. Any magnolia tree is preferred. Caria illinoensis and Cercis canadensis.
Okay.
That's a pecan and a redbud.
I am going to plant a tree.
There's a novel idea. Very strong in the sun. Okay. Now look at you. You get to draw another tree, and there's a fat blue card sitting there staring at me. Okay, so I'll plant my bitternut hickory. Costs 2 to plant. He's the only thing I got to plant. And I am actually going to go ahead and just discard a lightning storm because we don't have any weather conditions going on right now. And so I'll draw 2. Oh great, I got no trees. All right. Fantastic. All right, your turn.
Okay, I am going to put all my souls back. And I am going to plant Atilia heterophylla. Phila. And your tree is going bye-bye.
Nope, I only have 1 tree, so you can't.
Oh, that's right.
Can't pick on my one poor little tree.
Okay, well that cost me 3.
Now, if this was the 2-player strategy game, you could definitely attack it, but this is the friendly party game, so I gotta have at least 2 trees. Alright, so I get all my solar energy back, and I would love to plant a tree, but I have none in my hand. I am feeling quite disastrous, actually. I will go ahead and get rid of my thunderstorm for 1, and I will get rid of my F3 tornado for another one, and I will keep this card. It may come in handy. Ah, good. Finally got a tree. All right, your turn.
Okay, I am going to, for 3 souls, grow my Pinus taeda into the canopy.
Nicely done. You got too many cards.
Ah,
I gotta shove it back in there
do I
somewhere.
get to put it on the top?
Now that you know what it is, no. All right, so we are now in the shade. Wow, that was fast. We hardly spent any time in the sun. So we're in the shade. You have an 8 shade strength. Okay. Does this grow there? Yes, it does grow there. Cost me 3. And my 8 is even with your 8, so I will leave you alone. And draw not a tree card. Darn.
Okay.
Your turn.
I am going to initiate tree combat
No.
So that my 8
How are you
becomes
gonna
a
do that?
9,
Oh, with the dreaded tree combat versus card.
and your 8 is only an 8, but my 8 is a 9.
Alright, so that card allows existing planted trees to attack, and yours gets a bonus of 1. Alright. Nicely played, sir.
Thank you.
This does me no good. Alright, I have no trees. I'm struggling here, so. I know one thing I can do. I will play the dreaded Surface Fire. Cost me 2 energy to play. Put it in the middle of the habitat. It affects all trees in the habitat. And it has a fire strength of 1. So we got 1 plus it gets no bonus from the habitat. So it's only a 1. So it's not going to knock out any trees. Every tree's fire defense is certainly 1 or more. But it does have this handy little linger feature. So it hangs around until the start of my next turn, which means you cannot plant or grow any trees until your next turn. I have 1 energy left, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this wildfire because this little enabling symbol is not available. Draw 2 cards. Your turn.
So you can plant any trees or trees with the less than a.
And you just can't plant.
Okay.
You can't plant or grow with a lingering disaster. It basically buys me a turn to try and do something.
Okay, I'm going to, for the sake of future fires,
Probably need a little room here. Let's shift these over. Get these other habitats out of the way. See, the camera's that way, so let's switch it. There we go.
okay,
Very
this is
nice.
still lingering,
Mm-hmm.
and that cost me 2 souls, and for 1 soul, I am going to discard another firestorm.
Actually, you put the cloud, so the clouds cost 1. So
Ha! Almost got away with it. Now you know what I've got in my hand that I'm not going to use anytime soon. Okay.
Alright, so beginning of my turn, my lingering disaster goes away. Yeah. Does this grow? It does grow. Alright, we are in the shade. It's a terrible, terrible shade tree. Sweet gum. But it is a tree card, which I don't have very many of. And I'm going to get rid of my Enchanted Summer Trend card. And draw 2 cards. Your turn.
Okay. And I am going to plant this tree for 2. And
So it is a 4 shade strength.
versus the 3 of your liquid Envar Strassaflua. And I'm now going to discard the Firestorm. The dreaded Firestorm.
Dreaded Firestorm. Yeah, get my energy back. Okay. In the shade. Definitely got some better trees now. Okay. Acer Rubrum. So it has a 7 shade strength, and I'll go ahead and knock out the 4 shade strength over there. And I will get rid of this cloud for 1, and I'll draw 2.
Okay. And I am going to make sure this thing can grow here. And it can. So, for 2, I am going to plant, and my 7 will knock out your 5.
Yes, it will. into win over there, I see.
And I'm going to hang on to that, and actually I will discard.
This is a back and forth habitat here.
Okay, it is your turn.
Alright. Energy back. Alright, I've got a preferred tree here. Good old southern magnolia, Magnolia grandiflora. It cost me 2 to plant. And because it's a preferred tree, it actually has a 9 shade strength, which is 1 stronger than your basswood over there. And I'm gonna get rid of my water oak for my last soul and draw 2 to give me 3 cards. I got all the disasters at the beginning of the game. I couldn't use any of them.
Okay. So I cannot plant without initiating combat, is that correct? Or I can plant?
You can't. It's a party game, so combat is always optional, and you can plant away. But you're right, and if it was the 2-player strategy game, you would have to knock somebody out to get in. Couldn't have a complete
new weather condition replaces the old weather condition.
Cost 1. Is it a trend card or a cloud card? It's another cloud.
Cloud.
Mm-hmm. So it just cost 1, and the new cloud rolls in and pushes the old cloud out.
Okay.
Is that what you're doing?
No, it is not what I'm doing.
Okay.
It looks like it would benefit
Good to
you
know.
more than me. So I am going to plant this tree.
The more you know.
And I'm going to get rid of the cloud card. For 1.
Okay.
And now it's your turn.
Alright, so my understory's full. Means I can grow one of these up now. I definitely want to grow my... Oh, no, it's not definitely. Yeah, I think I do. Even though it's stronger in the shade, because it's preferred, I'm going to go ahead and grow it into my canopy, because since it's preferred, it also gets bonuses of 2 to its fire strength and wind strength, so it means it's really resistant to being knocked out by disasters.
Okay.
And I can't draw because I've got 3 cards. All right.
Okay. So
That was a lot of thinking for me of how I was going to keep this tree in my canopy for a long time, and here you're about to win that habitat.
I just noticed myself. I'm like, oh, look, I'm winning this one.
Oh, look at there.
For a cost of 2, I'm going to
Win the habitat.
win the habitat.
All right, 2
And
you can wait until the next habitat's revealed before you figure out what you want to do with your last soul. So you win the
really? Okay.
you win the
Well,
habitat,
I will do just that.
and all these go to the litter pile, including the weather, and the next habitat. So we've made the executive decision that we are going to forego the swamp and go with a habitat that's a little easier to plant in. It is a fun habitat to play, but it does take a little more time than some of the others. So, let's see, our next habitat is, well, alright, and our next habitat is the mountain ravine. Alright, that looks pretty. We'll do that one. Okay, so it's got a nice little water droplet. That means the flood can certainly come through. So this must be down towards the bottom of the mountain ravine. So we got a 6 water, 5 temperature. We are in the sun. So does this grow? That does not grow. Does this grow? That does not grow. Does this grow? It does, but I don't want to use it. So I'll discard 2 cards for 2 souls and draw 2 cards. Your turn, Scott.
Okay. I am going to, for 1 soul, bring in some cumulonimbus incus clouds.
Yeah, let's look at that weather. That looks nasty. Alright.
And I'm going to discard all of my trees.
So you put in some really scary weather and get rid of your trees. All right. Does that grow? It does grow. Slippery. Oh, what is preferred? Betula trees, Pinus strobus, and Tsuga, which we don't have any in this edition of the game, which means we don't have any. Alright, I'm going to plant my Ulmus rubra. Cost me 2, and I'm getting rid of this sassafras that does not grow for 1. Okay, use the turn.
Okay, I'm going to, for 2, plant this Jogan's Nightgrow. And for 1, I'm going to get rid of my Crocus Falcata.
Ah, it's too cold for that one, huh? Alright. I have to get my energy back. It's a terrible idea, but I'll go ahead and do it. I'll plant it just because it grows, even though it's terrible in the sun. Maybe you won't have anything to knock it out, and I'll get rid of this tree that does not grow. Because it is... Actually, it did grow. Why did I throw it away? Craziness.
Okay. And I am going to plant the Magnolia acuminata. And I'm going to violently attack your Ulmus rubra.
Which one? This one?
Nope.
Are you preferred or something? Because we're in the sun, because there are no canopy trees.
Ah, right.
So
Yes,
red
that
button,
one.
yeah.
Thank you. Glad someone's paying attention. And for 1 soul, I am going to... be patient. Very patient.
Alright, I am feeling disastrous. And I just frankly want to use a disaster card. So I have an F1 tornado.
Uh-oh.
F1 on the Fujita scale. So it cost me 3 souls to play. I had to have one of these cloud symbols in place, so we've got it. Cumulonimbus Incus. It affects one side. I will pick your side. And it has a strength of 2 base strength. Doesn't get a bonus from the habitat, but it does get +2 from the cloud, so that's a total of 4. So any tree less than 4. So 4 is okay, but the magnolia tree only has a 2 wind strength, so it gets blown away.
Wah, wah, wah.
Alright, use the disaster. Excellent. Your turn.
Okay.
Now I need to use a trend card. We haven't done that yet.
And you've got a 6 in the sun there.
I do.
And you're not preferred.
I am not.
At least not by me. So I'm going to
Gold card.
plant for 3,
Ooh.
an 8 sun, and can't knock you out. She only have 1 tree.
That's right. Party game. Friendly rules. It'd be fair game in this 2-player strategy game.
Your turn.
Alright. So, I got 3 souls. Yeah. You got a 6 and an 8 sun strength. I ain't touching that. I will plant this silly mockernut hickory. It costs 2. And I'm gonna get rid of the Quercus michoi swamp chestnut oak because it is too cold for him, he said. Gators do not like the mountain ravine up in North Carolina. Your turn.
Okay. I am going to implement a deep freeze.
No. Okay. So it affects everybody.
Okay, good.
That's good. It's fantastic. I love it. Perfect. Okay, so you got 3 energy to start your turn, right? Okay.
Yes, I have 3, and I'm utilizing 2 for the deep freeze.
Okay, so it's 2 energy. It affects all trees. It reduces the temperature of the habitat by 1, so we're down to 4. So everybody check their temperature range. He's good. Mockernut, that gets too cold for him. He can't tolerate a 4, and both of yours are good.
Yes, and with my last soul, I'm going to discard this tree that cannot grow here.
And you got the added bonus that that's a lingering disaster, so I cannot plant or grow trees this turn. Well, that cuts down on me options. I already got some disastrous weather, so I'll get rid of these other disaster-like cloud cards for 2. And I will draw 2 cards. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to do a check. See
Yeah,
which
beginning
trees
your
are
turn,
preferred.
so this goes away.
Ah,